Hello everyone and welcome to Arts, Crafts, and Everything in Between. I am your host Eileen, aka Eileen the Little Crafter, and I am super excited. Today I am going to be talking about the Cricut software. Oh my god, I'm so excited that they finally came out with an app for the iPhone. Now, the Cricut is a digital die cutting machine. And so much more. So basically, it cuts out a lot of interesting shapes that you can use for a variety of different things. You can use it for scrapbooking. You could use it for school projects. You can use it for home decor, home decor. In terms of putting little items on your wall, you can use it as cutouts to vinyl, pet items, anything you can pretty much think of, you can use it for. And Cricut also provides different types of material, like the different types of vinyl, printable vinyl, wall vinyl, wall vinyl and window vinyl, that's what I wanted to say. You can also use other different types of materials that are already out on the market. So just experiment. You can also cut out fabric. And fabric, they also have printable fabric for Cricut. They also have foam. You probably could use other foam. But in terms of fabric, the only thing that I would suggest is that you would need a stabilizer, which basically kind of makes it stiff, and it's something that you iron on. You just, read the instructions, iron it on, and then you can cut it out. And I know that a lot of people say that it's basically hit or miss, because, I don't know, each type of fabric so far has been yielding different challenges, so you just probably would want to start out with a little small piece of fabric that you're okay, that in case anything goes wrong, you're good. You won't be like, ah! So that's FYI. I do know that ProCraft has a channel on YouTube. So before you start anything, I think that it would be very wise to use that platform and then start from there. Because I find that Cricut complicated things when they went from the Cricut craft room to the Cricut design studio, excuse me. The first program that they had was for the computer was the Cricut craft room, and that was for the older machines such as like the original craft room, the Explorer, the cake machine, the mini, things like that. So it was simple, it was easy, and I find that the high contour was easier to use. The welding was used to put things together and to basically slice out shapes out of one another. So but with the crafts with the Cricut design space, I find that they have all three buttons. They have, and the high contour, they have the welds, they have the attach, then they have the slice, and the slice doesn't always work all that well. I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's me, or is it the software, or is it the shape, and this is just the computer. Sometimes I find that it doesn't even work for the other two platforms. I've been using it on and off, so it's just, I think it's probably, I don't know if it's human error or if it's just something that Cricut has to address. And if it's human error, then I will definitely let you know if I find it easier with time. I've just been playing with the Cricut app on the iPad for maybe about half of a month. So it's kind of a little tricky. I do like it. I find that it's easier, and I think that it would be great in terms of if you want to take it, like let's say you want to use for a crop. Now, if you're going to take it for a crop, I would suggest that you get that little plug-in if you just have the original Explorer. If you have the Air, you don't have to worry about that because it just cuts out wirelessly. So that's pretty cool. Anything else that I can think of? Yeah, no, like I said, I find that I liked the Cricut Craft Room better than the Cricut Design Space. But in terms of the Design Space, I think that it does have a lot of wonderful features in terms of that now you can print and cut, but you can't use the print and cut feature on the iPad and the iPhone app. So that, I think they're maybe possibly going to be working on that in the future. In terms of layers, I think that on the right hand side of the Cricut Design Space, you'll see the layers, and if the little eyeball isn't showing, I've heard that it doesn't necessarily show, so it won't cut. With the Cricut, the Cricut Studio, Cricut Craft Room, you wouldn't necessarily have to bring up the shadow in order to see. You would have to use more layers and probably more mats. Not more mats. I think that virtual mats. You probably use more virtual mats, and it was a little bit more harder to make sure all the layers line up together. So that's something that they added, which was pretty cool. The print and cut, especially when you want to design something like, let's say, you're doing a girl's birthday party and she wants pink, so you can print and cut that. If you want to make a simple birthday card, you can do that. You just need a printer and your Cricut machine, which that's the one thing that bothered me. I'm going to only talk about for this little tidbit is the Cricut Imagine. Now, I loved my Cricut Imagine because the Cricut Imagine, you basically had that whole system in just one machine. The problem with the one machine was that this thing was huge. It took up pretty much all your table space. So you can also use patterns on the Cricut Imagine, which was another cool feature. And I heard, hopefully, they said that they're behind. I listened to the YouTube video, and they said that they're a little behind, but that they were going to bring that feature back, which was so awesome. I loved it because I don't know what happened. They don't have that machine around anymore, but now I guess the partnership with the other company that they were with just fell through. So, and I think there was a lot of hiccups with that machine. I've heard a lot of different hiccups. I waited in order to get mine so that the hiccups, because I think it was like, people were saying that it took them a couple of days before they could reach ProvoCraft, anybody to give them help. So it was kind of like really, 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 really crazy. But to me, I still love that machine because it's just ease of use of one machine, and you can print, you can cut, and you can personalize it even more. So, I'm hoping and praying that, well, not hoping and praying, but I'm sure that they will definitely correct that, because a lot of us did enjoy that feature. And the patterns were really pretty, and they were really nice. And I do hope that in the future that ProvoCraft will provide more patterns, because there are a lot of awesome, cool patterns out there in the world, and or maybe help us be able to work with our own little pattern and keep it up. I do like the other feature, which I haven't mentioned on this particular podcast, is the SVG files. Now we don't have to worry about, is this file that I bought from another company, is it going to work? Now you can, and which is really awesome, because I know that there's a lot of amazing artists out there that don't work with Purple Calf, but do have some great items, and we want to be able to cut them out. So now we can do that, and we can print out items, certain items from different online images, I've heard. So that's pretty cool. So you print and cut them out. Anything else that I can think of? So we talked about the hit and miss of the welding and the attaching and slicing. Oh, the writing. I love the writing. I think that that was pretty cool. Now the markers and everything is pretty much easy to use, and you just basically you click the style of writing, and you can see it, so that you can see whether or not if it's just kind of like an outline font, or if it's a full actual handwritten. Now you can use the pens, and I've heard that you can use different markers, so that's pretty cool. If it's just as thin as the Cricut markers, you can go ahead and use that. And there's, again, a lot of YouTubers that have already done it, so give them a look into. What else? That's about it, guys. I think that ProvoCraft is so far doing an amazing job, and I'm super excited that that these awesome changes are coming about. It makes me want to craft even more. I kind of took a little hiatus from crafting, but this is making me want to get back into itching, and I just got a fuse tool, so I'm definitely going to be working on some custom scrapbooking items, and maybe, of course, some project life. Oh, I need to finish this coffee, and I need to hurry up and get off this podcast, because a certain little somebody wants to go to the park. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you've enjoyed this podcast. I am going to be definitely trying to give you guys more videos in terms of, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier with my iPad, to show you guys a little bit of how I work with my machine, how I design things, and how that little process goes. So you have a wonderful day, and by the way, happy 4th of July. I didn't want to forget that. And alrighty, see you next week. Bye for now.